Hello people, it's RTK here. Today I'm going to show you a quick way to increase your clear speed for Gas Arrow or basically for any attack builds using Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder. This is a technique that monks are using to clear much faster in maps, and it can be adapted to basically any attack builds. You can use it on, I've seen it on Lightning Arrow as well from Fubgun. The mechanic behind this is very simple. You want Herald of Ice to trigger Herald of Thunder and Herald of Thunder to trigger Herald of Ice. Once you successfully do that, you will see that you can basically clear the whole screen with the heralds because they are able to chain off each other and keep going. There are some things we can do to increase the consistency, and I'm going to show you the gem links and how to set it up for Gas Arrow. And if you want more details, you can check out Fubgun's video. I think he does a very good explanation on how everything works, but this video will be how I would adapt it to Gas Arrow. Alright, as discussed, I'm going to show you my current setup. So what I have here, I've sorted the buffs as the most important to the least important. So first of all, we always want Wind Dancer to be here. Wind Dancer is always here for the extra evasion it gives us. And also I will include Clarity as a necessary support gem to have because mana regen is very important. So let's look at the Herald of Ice setup. The first support gem we have is Lightning Infusion. This is because we want Herald of Ice to do as much lightning damage as possible to shock enemies, and in order to increase the chance of shocking, we have the conduction support, and then we have overcharge to increase the magnitude of the shock as well. And there's also innervate, which gives us some extra lightning damage on killing shocked enemies on all of our attacks. Note that Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder are attack skills. You can see the attack tag over here, so these are considered attacks as well. Once this triggers, this will add the lightning damage to all of Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, and our Gas Arrow. I currently do not have the last link. I will update the Mobalytics guide if you want to see what gems you would put here, but something like +1 code skill would work perfectly. Alright, for Herald of Thunder, it's a similar story. We want to do as much cold damage for this one as possible, so we have Cold Infusion. We have Glaciation to help Herald of Thunder to freeze. And then we have Long Shot to get some more damage in, and we have Immolate here. I'm not 100% whether or not the Immolate damage is converted by our Blue Flame Bracers, but what I would do for if I had a extra link is I would put Magnified Effect over here and put Immolate in my Gas Arrow, and this here Herald of Thunder I would do something like +1 lightning skills and some cold penetration. So let's talk a bit about the passive tree. This Herald text actually works a lot better with Gas Arrow because we actually have increased AoE for attacks, and the heralds are considered attacks, so we have some increased AoE just from our passive tree alone. And in order to help with the herald explosions, we have Anointed Doomsayer. You can also travel to here if you want, since it's very close to our tree. What you can do is hold Alt on whatever node you want to anoint, and it will show you the distilled emotions you need. So this one you need Paranoia, Guilt, and Disgust. Another good anoint you can have is Devastation. This one gives area damage and AoE for attacks. This will also help since the heralds are considered attacks. Other than that, there's no big changes in the tree. If you're struggling with freeze and shock, you can get this node to get some extra freeze buildup and chance to shock. This will help the explosions chain a little bit more consistently if you're struggling with that. Let's talk a little bit about the spirit requirement. As you can see, Wind Dancer is the one we always have. This is 30, this is 30, this is 30 as well. So this is 90, and also I would consider mana regen is a must-have as well. So this setup only requires 100 spirit. If you have extra spirit, you can use things like Charge Infusion, Combat Frenzy, like I've discussed before in the previous video. And some other good support gems for auras you can play around with depending on your spirit are Vitality and Herbalism. These are help you with survivability. And if you're using the Energy Shield version of this build, you switch the armor for a hybrid evasion and energy shield base. This gives me 400 energy shield and 1000 evasion. And with this setup, you get some extra energy shield, and the auras you can use are Grim Feast for energy shield overflow, and Ghost Dance for some extra energy shield recovery. So these are the combos you want instead of these two if you're using the energy shield version. Another thing I want to add is that you can also get some extra spirit. I know people might be struggling with spirit. You can get some corruption on your helmet. The spirit corruption, I think, ranges from 20 to 30. This is a max roll on the corruption. So this helmet actually gives me 30 spirit. The only pieces that has spirit is my helmet and my amulet. And also, if you're really struggling with spirit, you can play around with the reduced reservation of Herald skills. And that's pretty much it. If you have everything set up correctly, you can confirm whether or not it is working correctly by looking at the buff icons on the left upper corner of your screen. You should be consistently proccing Innervate and Herald of Thunder. These icons should be proccing consistently, especially if you're doing high density breaches. Some other things you can do is to have good amount of flat damage on your bow and quiver. You can have some added lightning damage that will help increase the chance to shock. This tech will work with elemental bow or a fizz bow because the Herald of Lightning and Ice will be converting the fizz damage to their respective element anyway. So this should work with fizz bow and elemental bows. Other than that, just make sure to never put elemental focus on any of your links, because if you put elemental focus, the heralds will not be able to apply any elements and will not be able to chain off each other. That's pretty much it for the tech. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick tip. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll be trying to multi-stream on YouTube and Twitch. I think this would help me reach more of you out there and help you out if you got any questions. And that's it for me. As always, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.